And then over here we've got more big huge things of hard red wheat, and I've got like a manual grinder so I could grind it as well. Big food saver bags full of brown rice and wheat, beans. I've got quite a bit here. More white rice. A lot of candy. Candy's always handy in an apocalypse. I've got about 30 pounds of salt right here. So then, of course, in these some of these number 10 cans, I've got food saver bags full of that white rice. Crisco down there. I've got propane, got myself a gasoline stove, and several gallons of gas. So in the event of an EMP, if some of the cars were wiped out, those tanks could be drained, and I could trade maybe white rice for a couple gallons of gas, and I could cook with this white gas stove. I could cook with that using gasoline without using any of my own supplies. Now, if my car was still working, what would I do then? I think what I would possibly do is pull the distributor cap, yank the rotor out, so that if anybody tried to start it, it wouldn't run. And then I would make a show after 2 weeks or so of trying to get the thing started. Oh geez, it doesn't work. Then I would have a backup way of escape if I needed to. Then I could head to my bug out location. I have family way out in the sticks, and I could actually I've already stocked about 6, 7, 8 months of food there. Big containers of beans and rice and whatnot. Very plain stuff, but it would keep people from starving. Then, of course, if I needed to do that, I would load as much in the car as I could and take off. Now, if there was an EMP that really did knock that car out, my mobility options would be dramatically decreased. So I'm really strongly considering, it's on my to-do list, to order new ignition parts for the car and my scooter as well. But I've been preparing more for things that I'm certain are going to happen. The whole economic collapse thing, and the mushroom cloud scenario is actually kind of lower on my list of possibilities. So anyway, once the dust settled, I would strongly consider, depending on how well this condo is doing and if supplies are still coming in, or if even if I had a job, it's quite possible that the place where I work, it's a diesel repair shop, it's quite possible that it would still be functioning. And we have a lot of older transit buses down there that could quite conceivably be totally immune to any kind of electromagnetic pulse. And if that's the case, they're going to be running. And if that's the case, they're going to need mechanics. So that means that if that occurred, I would get down to work as soon as I could, because I might still have a job. And of course, because there's a lot of people who live so far out in the country, and a lot of people wouldn't come in at all, you know. But I would, chances are I'd be under that, I would have that potassium iodide going, so I would actually be able to risk going outside once the major dust pretty much settled. Like 90% of the radioactivity is gone after the first like 24 hours or so. So, and then as it continues, it's like going down dramatically. Then once we have a good rain, and it rains a lot in where I live, it would flush all the toxins down into the ocean, probably doing horrible damage there, but at least it'd be off the land. So we would probably be able to function, you know, fairly well. I would actually be back at work again. And I bet a lot of the mechanics wouldn't, though. They have like families and stuff, and they probably wouldn't want to leave their homes. So that would, who knows, I might get a raise. So I would be able to work on those old buses that are pre-electronic control module, any of the buses that happen to be shielded or in a shadow from the EMP, like behind a big brick building or something. So I could keep those things going, and I could actually pull parts out of buses that were failed or totally destroyed or EMP'd, and then we could get other buses going. So then, of course, that's a valuable resource that the state government and federal whatever would want. So immediately I would probably end up working for some aspect of state or federal or something like that. And chances are the dollars would be worth nothing, so they would probably pay us in rice or something. And if that's the case, I would have an income, and I would be able to trade those resources to my neighbors to keep this place kind of halfway together. Keep the guard on the gate, to keep the Mad Max road warrior people out. So then then a month or so would probably go by, and I would be able to eventually get in touch with my family, and if any of them were in bad shape, I could arrange to get them up here, because I've got an extra bedroom, an extra bathroom. I could park a couple of people in the living room. So yeah, and then by then people would probably be gone, and we would know that they wouldn't be coming back. So we arranged to get the keys from the maintenance people and open up those condos and put other people in. With the understanding that it doesn't belong to them, but in a situation like that, empty condos, if there were people, they would probably open them up and let people in, and scavenge for food and whatnot. What's that? Well, it looks like a battery thing. Well, I guess that's about all I got for you. So we'll see how that happens. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen. Now, due to my Windows software and the video editing, sometimes I like to let a little bit of time go by before I shut it off. Otherwise I'll get flashes of the old videos.